Friday night, the big story on Action News tonight is the search for a stolen vehicle that contains radioactive medical waste. Action News reporter Annie McCormick is live at Darby Borough Hall. Annie, officials are now saying the vehicle has 6 syringes that contain spent radioactive medicine.
Jim, that's right, and police are still actively looking for the waste that is inside that stolen vehicle. They're also looking for another vehicle they believe was used in the crime, along with 2 suspects. They think that the suspects thought that the victim might have had prescription drugs since it was a medical vehicle. How are you feeling?
I'm fine.
Carjacking victim Sylvester Porter Jr. did not want to say much following the brazen theft that took place in front of his Darby Borough home.
I just need my wallet, my keys back. That's all I want. He could have been killed.
Tonight, his mother is thankful her son is alive. An armed suspect with an accomplice driving a black Pontiac that looks like this held Porter at gunpoint Friday afternoon in the 200 block of Mill Street in Darby, carjacking his company-issued 2013 white Toyota Matrix similar to this one.
He's considered very armed and dangerous at this point.
Police say surveillance video caught the accomplice in the Pontiac driving past this firehouse moments after the crime. They think the carjacked suspect drove towards Philadelphia. Porter drives for Cardinal Health, transporting radioactive medical waste held in containers. Friday, he had at least 3 pickups. Because of the sensitive material, Darby police immediately contacted Homeland Security. Soon after, they announced there was no radioactive threat.
There's always a biological hazard anytime you're dealing with any type of medical waste, regardless of where it comes from.
Still, they urged everyone to treat the materials with caution. Porter's mother says her son and family remain on edge while the suspects are out there.
He's upset. He's upset. He's concerned about his home, his family, his car, everything.
And this is the license plate on the back of that stolen vehicle, JFP 5051. Police also believe that there is an emergency placard in the back of the vehicle that could help identify it. However, they don't know if it is still there at this time. Police also think that the suspect may have tossed an iPad out of the stolen vehicle somewhere in southwest Philadelphia. Of course, if you have any information, you are urged to call police. For now, reporting live in Darby Borough, Annie McCormick, Channel 6 Action News. Jim.
Thank you, Annie.
For a white Toyota like this one, snatched from the streets of Delaware County. But this one was hauling material so hazardous that Homeland Security had to step in.
Well, tonight the public is not in any danger because of that toxic material, but police are still looking for the car and for the carjackers. Good evening. Good to have you with us. I'm Carrie Barrett.
And I'm Ian Page. Fox 29's Omari Fleming is live in Darby, Delaware County tonight. Omari?
Well, Ian, Homeland Security, EMA, even the health department all had to be called in because of that threat. The Darby police chief just telling me that those 2 suspects who stole the car with the radioactive material inside still on the run at this hour. And tonight, the mother of that carjacking victim, she is sharing her outrage.
He could have been killed.
Arnsey Riley just thankful her son Sylvester Porter's still alive. The 48-year-old man's okay, but he was carjacked at gunpoint right in front of his Darby home on the 200 block of Mill. Police now looking for 2 armed men who pulled up in a black Pontiac Bonneville, then held her son at gunpoint.
He pulls up, he just goes right up on a guy, puts a gun to his head, you know, don't move. Another guy jumps in the car and takes off.
The violent episode unfolded around 1:30 this afternoon as Porter was headed into his house after work at Cardinal Health Nuclear.
This has become a sad, sad world that you can't even go to work and leave without something happening. So it's upsetting to the whole family.
Porter's company car, a white Toyota Matrix similar to this one, was stolen. Inside, containers like this full of radioactive medical waste. Philly PD's Homeland Security called in because of the potential hazard. At this hour, authorities say it's no longer a threat.
The 2 radioactive sources, we do believe that they are inert at this point. Fluorine-18 has a half-life of 2 hours. The technetium-99 has a half-life of 6 hours.
An air and ground search that included Homeland Security went on late into the evening after a possible sighting of the stolen Toyota. This lead didn't pan out.
They have no care about life.
Porter's mother hoping the carjackers are found soon so her hard-working son can finally get some peace of mind.
He's upset. He's concerned about his home, his family, his car, everything.
and police were able to track that stolen car through an iPad signal until it was tossed out of the window. Now investigators believe that car was stolen because the crooks thought there were drugs inside. Reporting live in Darby Borough, Omari Fleming, Fox 29 News.
Omari, thank you. And a fright.
Skyforce 10 over the scene as police and Homeland Security rush to track down carjackers they say are armed and dangerous. The car they stole is carrying medical waste. That car belongs to Cardinal Health Pharmaceuticals in Sharon Hill, and that's where NBC 10's Luann Kahn joins us live. Luann.
All right, police are looking for a car just like this, a white Toyota Matrix, 2013. It's an unmarked car. It's a company car, as you said, owned by Cardinal Pharmaceuticals. It does have a placard in the back, the car that's been stolen. It says emergency delivery service, just like this placard, nuclear medicine, radioactive materials. The driver this afternoon was held up at gunpoint in front of his Darby Borough home. He says he's okay.
I'm fine.
But the Cardinal Health Pharmaceutical employee was having the locks changed on his Darby Borough home this evening.
He could have been killed. Yeah. So you have to calm down. It was a shock.
First and foremost, we have an armed and dangerous suspect who committed a carjacking who may be in the city of Philadelphia.
Police say two suspects drove up to Sylvester Porter's Mill Street home in a Pontiac like this at about 1:30. One of the men jumped out, put a gun to Porter's ribs, took his keys and the company car.
We believe that they thought there were narcotics in the car and they're getting away with something of some value.
But this is what's in the car. Homeland Security was called in when police learned containers are labeled radioactive. Cardinal Health says they hold inactive medical waste, isotopes used in hospital imaging procedures. Meanwhile, the carjacker was being tracked by a signal from an iPad GPS as he drove into southwest Philadelphia. Police say the suspect threw the iPad out on the street here, throwing police off his trail.
Please let us know if you see the car. Please don't approach it. If it's occupied, the occupant is likely armed and dangerous.
Take another look at this car. It's just like the one that police are looking for. It's a white Toyota Matrix 2013. It has a Pennsylvania tag on it. The number is JFP 5051. If you see it, police ask that you call 911 right away. Live in Sharon Hill, Luann Kahn, NBC 10 News.
A couple of car thieves get more than they bargained for when they steal a car at gunpoint, and it turns out to be loaded with medical waste. This happened in the 200 block of Mill Street in Darby Borough, Delaware County. Eyewitness News reporter Matt Rivers has the latest.
The thing about it is he could have been killed. Yeah. So you have to calm down. It was a shock.
Tense moments tonight for the mother of carjacking victim Sylvester Porter Jr. The crime itself was bad enough, but add that medical waste was in his back seat and the whole area was on edge.
There is no radioactive threat at this point.
That from Philly Police Inspector Joe Sullivan helped ease the situation, though, at an afternoon press conference. Officials confirmed that radioactive material inside the car had short half-lives, meaning they pose no real danger anymore.
There's nothing to worry about in these things. We just want to get it back.
It all started here in the 200 block of Mill Street. The victim worked for Cardinal Health and was just getting home in his company car. Two suspects driving a black Pontiac just like this one approached, pulled a gun, and carjacked him.
You can't even go to work and leave without something happening. So it's upsetting to the whole family.
Riley told CBS 3 her son was physically fine, escaping with no injuries. Emotionally, though?
He's upset. He's concerned about his home, his family.
His car looks just like this one, a white Toyota with a license plate that reads JFP 5051. It was last seen driving around southwest Philly, stolen, police say, with hopes that narcotics were inside. And police continue to search this evening for these suspects throughout the greater Philadelphia area. They're asking the general public that if you happen to come across either the suspects or the containers containing this medical waste, that you do not approach, but rather instead call 911. We're in Darby Borough. Matt Rivers, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
We have new information about a carjacking in Delaware County with a radioactive twist. Overnight, police discovered the missing car with the containers of medical waste still inside. The action cam was on the 1900 block of Ifan Street in Darby. The gunpoint carjacking happened yesterday afternoon in the 200 block of Mill Street. The victim was not seriously hurt. His mother is just thankful her son is alive, but the family is left on edge while the suspect remains on the run.
He's upset. He's concerned about his home, his family, his car, everything.
Now, health officials say there is no risk to the public. Police think the suspects mistakenly thought the car contained narcotics.